Hi, viewers. Welcome to another exciting episode of The AI People, where we share inspiring stories of thinkers and builders who are humanizing AI. Today, we have with us Ron and Abhi to talk about a very interesting topic, which is AI and cricket. Ron, Abhi, do you want to kick us off with an introduction?
Sure. Thanks, Vivek. AI and cricket both are my favorite subjects to talk about, so we can talk for hours if you want. I don't think we will have so much time for the podcast, but we'll carry on with the conversation with whomever is interested afterwards. Ron Majumdar, I used to work for IBM for about 25 years, and I left last year and started my own company called ResearchNet.ai. So check us out, and we're trying to build different products with AI. One of them happens to be on cricket, which my son Avi Majumdar is helping me build. So he'll tell you more about it. Avi?
Yeah, hey everyone. I'm Abi Majumdar. So I've been playing cricket since I was a kid for many years, and discovered AI a couple years ago, and now I'm looking to fuse the two together. So right now we're creating an app to provide high level analytics to be accessible to all people in real time using several different libraries and tools, which I'll get into later. Um, but yeah, I study at the University of Chicago laboratory schools. I'm a sophomore there. And yeah, I'm interested in all the STEM subjects and always look to combine them in any way I can.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you for the introduction.
Yep.
So I'm very curious. Two really interesting things coming together, AI and cricket. What problem are you guys solving for? And where do you see AI having the biggest impact, given the problem scope that you're trying to address here?
Basically, we're trying to create an agent that can detect ball movements and how the players are moving, both for batting, bowling, and even fielding, so that you can give suggestions. So it's like a coach that you can carry in your pocket and set it up. We'll eventually have a mobile version and a desktop version with more facilities and all that stuff. But yeah, and Avi, you want to add something to it?
Yeah, so yeah, as you said, trying to create an agent that can track both the specific cricket ball and also the specific like bones and structure of the human body, and using a library called MediaPipe, which I found. I think it created by Google. It can actually take into account 53 joints and points on the human body that you can use, and it tracks to see how they bend and move. And I think combining that with the trained ball model, you can use that to kind of figure out, oh, I played a shot, I got out. Why did I get out? So it's important to go back and see, and using these minute different like differences that we have within our joints and how we're moving the bat or how we're bowling, and then can be used to help in future matches.
Great to
Here's a
hear.
cricket ball, by the way. This is a played cricket ball, not a new one, and it has a seam. So eventually, the goal is if we have high resolution cameras, can we detect the seam? Can we see the angle of the seam, which makes a huge difference? The rotation of the ball when you're bowling fast, it's a you basically. I'm a fast bowler. Avi is also a fast bowler. I don't know much about spin. So we hold it like this, and we put a backspin like in football and other. So the backspin also matters how the ball is rotating and going. So you can calculate the swing and all that stuff. So that's what we're trying to do.
Great. So this is more applicable for bowlers than batters. Is that an accurate
No, and
representation?
batting as well. So I don't have a bat with me here, but yeah, for batting also. So you select the object, which is, and as Avi was describing, every joint is tracked and how the arm is moving, the elbow and shoulders, and so all this matters as you're. So any coach, as their um, so if you hire a coach and to give you guidance on cricket and you're batting, so the coach will exactly look at these parameters consciously or subconsciously because he's just trained on cricket and I'm a level two coach as well. So when I coach or I play cricket, this becomes very, very vital. How you move your feet, how you when you're bowling, there's four different stages of cricket bowling. It's very complicated, as opposed to pitching when you're standing and rotating your arm to pitch a baseball. So in cricket, you're running, you're jumping, then you're landing, then you're throwing the ball. So and the hand has to be up. So there's multiple very complicated um, biomechanics that happen. There's some research that has been already done by a university called Loughborough University, very close to London, and the national team, the UK team, actually trains there and gets their research analytics and all that stuff from there. So they've been publishing papers every so often, biomechanics of bowling as well as batting, and those will be our starting points of doing our research and trying to implement what those papers are actually talking about.
Yeah, so
That's great to hear.
yeah, so as you were saying, there's four different stages within a bowler's run up. But when I was developing the app, I wanted to create like a clear distinction between kind of the four different phases of the game, I like to call it. So you have batting, bowling, fielding, and wicket keeping. So right now I have different colors, so it can clearly be seen which players of which type, because obviously, like the way a batter moves is different than the way a bowler moves. So you need to teach the AI like to be able to understand that they're different, and what works on a bowler will not work for a batsman, obviously. And then another issue I ran into is when I'm detecting things on large scale, like games, like I don't know, like the cricket World Cup that's going on right now. Um, how do you make it so it doesn't track the audience members? Which is, it sounds trivial, but it was actually very difficult to fix because they're humans just like us. Most of them are fans that wear jersey numbers of their favorite player, just like the players. So I created a convex layer that goes on top of the field with both the grass as well as the pitch, to make it that it only detects players that are within a radius of that grass, so that it knows that they're playing, obviously.
It's a very
That's great.
interesting point, actually. So Avi, while implementing this, came up with this. So I had no idea we'll have. I wasn't actually thinking about the audience when I was thinking about the cricket. I was more. My mindset was more in the nets. So yeah, that's great. But then, what happens in an actual cricket match? How do you monitor then, and how can you analyze that? uh, at the same time the game is going on, right? So this is live analytics that someone wants to look at.
That's great. So yeah, that's a real world application that can help enhance the performance of the players. I know you mentioned about agentic. So what would be the interface if I'm, let's say, a player, I'm getting trained by a coach? How does this technology, fit in that particular scenario?
Yeah, so
What
we
do
are
I
building an agentic framework ourselves as part of ResearchNet. It can fit into that. That's a bigger question. But the smaller consumable ask is, how can you easily put this? Like you need a camera, of course, to view the players, view the ball, and all that stuff. So ideally, the system requires two cameras at two ends. Right. So you get two angles. One is a slightly slanted angle, like you get the profile of the bowler coming and the batsman playing the shots, and the other one you want a more straight angle. If you have a third camera, even better. Now you can focus on the bowler as he's jumping, but at least you need to do absolutely great analytics. And on the ground, you need six cameras to do absolutely great analytics. You don't need more than that. But if you don't have six cameras, what do? Right? So everyone has a cell phone. So one simple version that we were just discussing a while back is we'll have a small player version. You put your cell phone, right? And that becomes the interface to the camera. And then after you play the shot, after you bowl, like after a few shots, not every shot. That'll be a huge distraction. You come back and analyze, right? So all your body movements and everything is analyzed. You have records on the side saying, okay, this could have been done better. This could have been done. So this will be very, very useful in a net practice sort of situation, right? You want to add something to that?
So ideally, that has to be like a
Yeah.
camera, some monitor, which gives you like insights in real time. Every ball play, after every ball play, you can literally, get insights, or maybe after like a sequence of balls that a bowler bowls or a batter, practices at the nets. You get those insights. And is that like in natural language? Does someone get?
No, no. So you view it, and then you don't even have to query. It'll give you the stats and figures, right?
Okay.
So this shot was amongst the six shots you played. This was the best shot. This is the angle between the ball was swinging like it's an outswinger. You should have moved your leg like probably 2 inches closer to the ball to get the shot right, right? Or you could have moved a foot this way if you wanted to hook the ball the other side, pull the ball to the other side, slog sweep it. So whatever you did might not be the exact, and that's why you probably it's a catch and not a six. So these types of analysis will be available right afterwards, so you can come. But if you're doing this, so if anyone is practicing, like in a practical sense, right? If they come and watch this after every ball, it's a huge disruption to the actual practice that you're trying to do. So you should basically 6 to 12, 20 balls and then come and analyze it. Or if it's a team practice, once your session is done, you go and analyze what you did and go back into the next session of training, right? So while you're taking some rest, you have some time to analyze, okay, maybe I can improve this batting style, or maybe I should jump a little bit higher for the bowling or something like that, right? So that's the idea.
Yeah.
Avi?
So the two main things I think is important. The main goal of what we're trying to do is how can we allow users to accurately like how do you quantify a a coach's kind of doctrine for teaching you something? Like how do you use statistics to back that up? Because I know a lot of like particularly youth players an example, they don't believe in their coach, they don't trust their coach, some of them. So that's one thing, and then another thing is, a lot of the analytics that exist currently, cricket is not one of the best sports for stats and analytics right now, as opposed to American sports like baseball and basketball. But that's for another time. Um, People aren't really seeing things in real time, and because people are only seeing after the game, and by then it's too late to make any changes. So maybe during a timeout, the coach can relay some of that. Or also, like another thing I think is important is that when you play a bad shot in the nets, and okay, you clearly lofted it up, the AI in the app needs to accurately tell you specific actions to how you can improve. Just saying that it was a bad shot is not enough. You have to say, "Oh, it was an outswinger." Well, yeah, I know it's an outswinger now. How can I learn to pick up the outswinger from the bowler's hand? Oh, okay, he's holding it like this. So, how do I improve for next time using actual active reasoning instead of just, "Oh, it was an outswinger, but I already knew that. The ball already passed." Right?
See, the batsman knows that the shot was not good, but how to improve is the real question, right?
Did you get a chance to try get some of your peers or some of the you know potential users of the applications to try it out? Did you get some feedback that you want to share?
Yeah, not yet. We're still building the app. So
Okay,
once it's in a stable situation, we can. So we have lots of footage actually, because I play cricket, Avi plays cricket. We have matches, and Avi can actually analyze videos from YouTube for international players also, right? So
that's
if you put the YouTube link as it's playing, you're analyzing, right? Now this needs to be validated with some coaches. So fortunately, I have a academy, cricket academy as well. So we'll have to validate, sit down with the coaches, how good the responses are from the app. I also have a partnership with Root Academy. Root Academy is Joe Root's. Joe Root plays for. He's an opening batsman for UK, England. So we will have to sit down with the coaches first before we try out with some of the players. We have a partnership with Caso and Midwest here in Chicago. So we'll try out with those leagues. Then we'll try out with, we're doing a collaboration with Adelaide University on robotics and AI. So uh, we might a little bit talk about that as well in this call. But so there are places, and then Loughborough University where all the research is happening. So we want to go to all these universities, try them out, get their feedback, improve on the software before it's made public. So it's ongoing research before we can actually tell you yes. So we don't want to give you bad feedback, and though you change the style, it's actually not the best thing to do just because the AI is suggesting something, right?
Great. That's awesome.
But this
I,
is
I'm
this is more mathematical, Vivek. So this kind of application is more mathematical. The tracking and all that is done by AI, but then as the ball is moving, how far it is from the leg, it's a mathematical calculation, right? What is the angle of the swing? How the ball is turning? All these are mathematics, so they're more specific than say natural language sort of things. Now, if you ask natural language, maybe it'll answer with the right answers, right? So we'll have a chatbot layer on top of it as well, because everyone loves that. But the real purpose of the agent is to follow the batsmen, the bowlers, the fielders in real time and give you stats.
That's awesome. And where do you see the future of cricket going with technologies like AI coming into the picture? Do you see the game getting elevated, or do you see the intuition that cricketers typically apply, and that's what makes the game interesting, right? With technologies like AI, do you see the intuition getting degraded, or is it getting elevated?
Any technology will obviously help you in improving those who adopt the technology as fast as possible, right? So if people are often reluctant, right? So someone who's an experienced coach might say, "Oh, I know better than the AI." Well, you know it based on your eye estimations, right? Now I can give you precise millimeter distance between things, and that might make a difference, right? So yes, the we are limited to our vision, we're limited to our understanding of the game. What I see happening in the future is, as we analyze more and more games, um, there might be things that no one is thinking of, right? And so this is also kind of a RL program uh, that we can bring in later on, right? RL racing. So you know the outcome of what happened in that stroke. So maybe it's not a textbook stroke. That's why uh, we recommended that. Oh, this is not good. But what is really important is you play the stroke and it is resulting in a 4 or a 6. Maybe there are different ways of playing, and cricket has evolved actually over the period of time, right? So now all these Duplessis, Duini, they just changed the game so much. They're doing reverse sweeps and all kinds of things that no one was even thinking of when I was growing up. And if someone did that, oh, like, oh, he doesn't know how to bat, right? Now that perception, people have come out of the perception because it is result oriented, right? And we can get more insights into result oriented playing in cricket. And it is not the most analyzed game in the world. So we have a huge scope here.
Yeah, and I think
Avi, you want to add to that?
yeah, I
Yeah.
think building off of that, I think it's really important to use this app to value the eccentricity of every individual player. Not everybody has to be Cheteshwar Pujara hitting the middle of the bat, hitting just front foot defenses all day. You can be successful and make centuries by being a player like Glenn Maxwell. So, how can we use math to figure out how much risk is appropriate to take in various formats of the game. For example, playing a scoop shot in the first over a test might not be very responsible, but when compared that to a T20, so maybe we can create a kind of algorithm that kind of pushes people to play at the most optimal risk to reward ratio. And another vision I see for this app is not only for players trying to improve, but for coaching committees to use these advanced stats to decide who to bring in. Because especially like for a large market like the Indian team, you have so much talent. Who do you pick on your team, right? Like a few people who got left out of this year's T20 World Cup was, for example, Shubman Gill, other notable people like Yuzvendra Chahal, like people who are good, but they didn't get selected. So maybe this app can, because math is not subjective, so we can use this to figure out, will these players be good, predicting the future. And this is something I think baseball does really good, because of its advanced stats. It knows, well, if somebody hits the ball and the fielder makes an error, he doesn't get credited for that hit. But in cricket, if you hit a ball and the fielder misfields it at the boundary, then you still get the 6. So I think we need to reevaluate how statistics are done to pull in players and actually make more merit-based decisions.
Awesome. Yeah, the Moneyball of cricket is still getting written, and would be exciting to see how that unfolds. And IPL, for example, Indian Premier League, is one of the fastest growing sports league in the world. Cricket is obviously getting much more popular, so there will be a lot of resources available to apply some of these advanced analytics to improve the game and also take it to the masses, right? It's probably easy for people growing up in India or people with some ethnic background to get up to speed on the game, but for people who are just getting started with cricket, I think that technology will go a long way in terms of making the sport much more accessible. So I really think that the application that you're building will be super helpful. And also someone like me who hasn't been playing cricket for quite some time, and now I'm trying to figure out how I can play the sport. For example, for my corporate cricket team, I think the insights will be really helpful. And at this stage in my life, I might be concerned about injuries and whatnot, right? So how can I
Yeah.
contribute to the team without stretching myself?
Injuries is a
So
big thing actually in any sport, right? And in fact, we will be extending to other sports. We know more about cricket, so we started with cricket. We already have leagues here for soccer, asking us to analyze soccer. We're like, okay, one thing at a time. Let's do this first, and then we can have software analysis is actually easier than cricket, because cricket has a lot of moving parts and a lot of angles to be measured. There's only one ball here. There's players running around, passing to each other, right? So it's a little bit easier. But anyway, so injury is a huge thing, right? It needs to be analyzed, and certain actions, so certain bowlers, especially fast bowlers, are very, very prone to injuries. And if you do the right action, you're likely to have less injuries than doing something that twists your body at the last second as you're running, and that can give you injuries in the future, right? So even some of the best bowlers have so many injuries, right? Spinal cord injuries and all that stuff. So
that's a really good point. I didn't think through that lens, but definitely something to take into account as well. This is great. Thank you so much, Ron, Abhi, for sharing your innovation at the intersection of AI and cricket. And looking forward to see this application, and I would love to try it myself. And
yes,
also,
you'll be one of our first uh, folks to try it out, and let us know, give us some feedback so we can improve on it.
I
Yes.
really enjoyed this conversation, and I'm also someone who is really who gets really excited by sports and AI, and that too when it comes to sports cricket. So thank you so much for joining us today with the AI people, Ron and Abhi, and I wish you very good luck with building out this application and rolling out in the market soon.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting us, Vivek. Always good to see you.
Yep.
Great. Thank you.